Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, family? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it is politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, on today's conversation, we're seeing a lot of the world still reacting to the political violence that we had witnessed in Utah with the tragic assassination of a conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Now, it has led to so many different discussions with stemming from that that horrific incident, because you have folks who want to seek revenge, those that were proud supporters of Charlie Kirk. You have those that are defending their feeling towards just the fact that did not agree with them, but we should not stem away from his death. You have groups on social media, some folks blatantly, you've seen it in public, that are celebrating the horrific act that happened, and then we see folks who are losing their jobs off of sharing their thoughts towards Charlie Kirk. We're going to discuss everything because, again, this will be or the event that occurred will be a moment in our U.S. history that will never be forgotten. It was a horrific act that occurred in front of thousands of people and millions across on social media, who has repeat the video, which I'm just still frustrated the fact that social media has no restrictions over graphic acts that happen. I personally think that social media sites should prohibit graphic acts like that and graphic videos like that to even be shown publicly. In addition to discussing that, y'all, we also have a bit. We have some. We have a gentleman here, a pastor, a so-called self-proclaimed MAGA pastor, claims black people are more dangerous than white people. Now you got preachers out here adding more fuel to the division that we have in our country. You have actress, comedian Monique still in her feelings about Tyler Perry and Oprah. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on the show, and others, and so much more here on the program. As always, y'all, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show, to have another conversation with your homie, your boy. Also, do me a favor, for those who happen to be streaming this program right now on our YouTube channel, hey, like, subscribe. Wait, let me do the fingers. There we go. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. We want to continue to grow those subscription numbers as well as viewership numbers. We're doing so great, and we have great momentum. So I want to continue to build that up, y'all. I really would appreciate that, and continue to share with folks that enjoy great conversation, great respectable conversation and dialogue, and just all things you are into. You find it here on the Arrington Gavin Show. In addition to streaming the show on YouTube, you can also stream this program on Goatverse TV. Goatverse TV is available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. Again, that is Goatverse TV, greatest of all time, Verse TV app. and it's available on all those platforms where I mentioned earlier. If you prefer to listen to the show, we're available on all major podcast platforms, and you can also listen to us on the radio airway. Shout out to our radio affiliates. You're probably listening to us right now on WBOK out in New Orleans, WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Fridays, only on WBOK 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. And then we're going to move it all the way to the Metro Atlanta region to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's only on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. All right, my friends, look, let's get it going with our fun fact of the day before we move forward with our agenda today. So, fun fact, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk a little bit about Monique, someone who I will say she gets on my nerves, but I support. I want to see us win 24/7, and when I mean us, I mean folks in the black, the folks are part of the culture. I want to see us win, even though if we act a fool sometime, even though if we do, make mistakes. Hey, look, you learn from that. You can continue to grow. But Monique has always got on my nerves, man, because ever since she started with this whole feud, it's like, okay, are you going to continue to have that as a part of your new like branding strategy to get more business, or are you actually going to show your true talent? Whether if it's on the stage doing stand-up comedy, or whether if it's on the big or small screen acting. Like, why do you continue to share this on your platforms? No one asks about it, but you continue to bring it up. So here's a fun fact about Monique. So in 2010, Monique made history when she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Precious, becoming only the fifth Black woman ever to win an Oscar in an acting category at that time. So look, lady man history. We salute to her accomplishments, and not even just winning an Oscar. She's won multiple NAACP awards during her time on the small screen. So yes, my friends, that is your fun fact of the day. Now we're gonna head to a commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, that's that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create. From weddings to corporate events and everything in between, we specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. Check this out. We all know what occurred recently with the tragic assassination on very popular conservative activist Charlie Kirk. All right. The world has been responding, social media, different folks have shared about it. Folks are putting out their thoughts on who should be the blame. There are folks who are saying, wait a minute, was this an inside job? Like, there's so many conversations happening, and it most likely will happen for the remainder of the year, really. I mean, for longer than that. But during that time, during that moment, there were so many analysts sharing their thoughts on Charlie Kirk, about his come up to his rise to fame and whatnot, and what I would say not ruffled a little feathers, well, at least for those who are viewers and followers of MSNBC, which will eventually be called MS Now. One of their own political analysts, Matthew Dowd, shared his thoughts on the conservative activists, and because of that, and he shared this on air, and because of that, he was fired immediately. Now, I'm gonna play this clip of Matthew Dowd's comments, remarks, however you want to take it, about Charlie Kirk. And what do you? I'll share with my thoughts after hearing this, and just I would love to hear yours as well. So let me play you this sound clip of now former MSNBC analyst Matthew Dowd.
But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. But following up what
now, when you hear that, and I'll repeat it for those who didn't hear. He said hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then leads to hateful actions. He said, adding to that, he said, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful actions to take place. Now, in business, I would say it was awful timing, because agree or disagree with this man, a life was lost. So do you really want to share your political opinion about this individual during that moment? Now, to play devil's advocate, you could easily say, well, maybe he was publicly trying to figure out, why did this happen, right? Why could this happen? And so I have shared with you all, and I'll repeat some of the things that went viral that helped make Charlie Kirk famous, because he was known of being a pretty controversial political figure, in the same boat as a Candace Owens, who else? Ben Shapiro, Alex Jones, Laura. I mean, you think of the far right, you're going to, say, well, what about Kirk? Is he in that? Is he in that far right category now? Hey, everybody has a different opinion. I'm just putting that out there as an example. But so here are some moments that went viral during Kirk's career. Now, this some of his quotes I'll read. He said, let's see here. He said, Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Okay. He also said, we've been warning, I quote, we've been warning about the rise of Islam on the show. Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. All right. Now, that last comment was this past year. Okay. That was used this past year. Then we go on to say that he goes on to say, this is a quote reported by the Irish Times: prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact. It's happening more and more. He also says that you had to go steal a white person's slot, making accusations that certain black public figures only succeeded because of affirmative action. All right. Implying that they don't have intelligence. He also, this is another quote I'm reading here. He has also made remarks about legal immigration from India, arguing America does not need more visas for people from India. Let's see here. He says he called immigrants invading the country, used dramatic language like break into your homes, rape your women, to describe migrants. I mean, and I had the conversation with one of my dear friends who's I would say a conservative. He's a lot more conservative than me. He asked the question. I can't see his words having his words leading to somebody wanting to hurt him or even kill him. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Nothing in my mind, whether you agree or disagree with it, nothing should ever respond to political violence or any form of violence. Me in my mind, I cannot picture anything that will say, "Oh, now I got to respond by hurting you." Like, no, that's just not the case. Now we go to some of the viral moments we see in politics. First of all, politics has always been an aggressive field, right? Folks are gonna either like what you say or not like what you say. Folks gathers up so many thought-minded. It's too much. It's too much. Now, I would say this, and I've said it multiple times on this program: when you're in the public eye, you have to really know. You really have to be careful on your certain terminology. Not to say that it could lead to violence, but the way the world works, we have folks in here that really have something wrong going on in their head, because you could be talking to a room of 500 people, 499 of them will say, "Oh yeah, I agree," and then one person will be like, he will take it with the grain of salt. He will have a whole nother response to that. Not really for his frustration, but they will. If someone says, "Hey, look, go jump off a bridge," most of us will be like, "Oh, they're not serious." But there's somebody out there will be like, "Hey, he said," because it's just the way the world is. But I gave you some remarks that I would not say these remarks leads to violence, but it could lead to angry folks either wanting to, say, "You know what, let's scrap, right? Let's do." Like, his words were so controversial and so insulting, in my opinion. Yes, it hurt folks. Folks got frustrated. Folks got irritated. And the more you continue to poke somebody, it's just like a bully, right? If you continue to bully an individual, what are they going to do? They either going to first by respond to you verbally, and then if you continue to do so, look, it's going to lead to hands. And then what's going to happen after that? You see what I'm saying? Y'all, we have to keep folks accountable on the wording that they bring out. Now, I want to read you this quote because a WWE superstar, matter of fact, the daughter of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, her name is she goes by Ava in the WNBA. I mean WNBA, Lord have mercy, the WWE, and she had shared this, and it went viral, and a lot of folks, some folks agreed, a lot of folks didn't. Well, I'll say this: some folks didn't agree, some folks did agree with what she had shared. So here's what she had shared on social media. She said this on her IG story: if you want people to have kind words when you pass, you should say kind words when you're alive. Now, she's just saying, as far as here, responding to folks having bad things to say during this man's death. I will say this: I did not agree with 99.9% of what Charlie Kirk had said, because I didn't like the words that he shared. There's different ways of you giving off your opinion without, in my opinion, personally attacking folks. To me, it's just, it was too much, and I think it was a lot of the times it was a good number of times where I look at it as the new brand of the right. Now I come back to this analyst at MSNBC, Matthew Dowd. Was that enough for a man to get fired? What's your thoughts on that? Was that enough for that man to get fired? For him to share his opinion on who Charlie Kirk was, why he rose to, what made him rise to this star in the conservative media. I mean, to say that this man never went viral by sharing his thoughts on Islamic faith, the LGBTQ plus community, and other communities and people of color. I just shared you some examples, and I'm not here to what's wrong. I'm not here to bash this individual who recently lost his life in a horrific death, because it was extremely sad, and I continue to pray. I pray for his family throughout the during this time, because it's sickening. It sickens me to my stomach that this exists in our world. People should have the right to freedom of speech and to share their thoughts without having political violence as the response. But now I'll also say, you continue to spew, in my opinion, hateful words. You have to be aware of the response. This man had a large security detail. Do you think that was for stalkers? Do you think that was for people who are just big fans of him now, just swarm and clobber him? That could be a reason. But what's not to say that he's never received threats on his life before? Why is that? And I will end it off with this. For y'all who celebrates this man's passing, shame on you. It's sickening. It's disgusting. Y'all need to be looking in the mirror at yourselves, because that should never be celebrated at all, and it's inhumane for those who were fans of Charlie Kirk, and is still broken because of that. Look, I pray for you guys. Why? Because at the end of the day, you had an individual that you agreed with, that you looked as your hero, and you watched, or you saw your hero tragically get assassinated. Pray for you guys. Because it's a scary thing. That's tough. That's tough. And on top of that, I want to finish off by saying again, prayers go out to the family. Because this man was a young man, 31 years old, had a wife, 2 children, young children. That is a huge adjustment that they have to grow up with now. So it's gonna be tough. And I just wish that people can be a little more empathetic in that space. I'm gonna digress from talking about Matthew Dowd now. Set aside from his thoughts on Charlie Kirk. Now, MSNBC is continuing to lose a lot of folks, and they're continuing to be more of like the safe space and not as the left-leaning media platform that they are, because being that they're so more progressively left and seeing that they fire this guy in seconds, I'm like, whoa, they're pretty serious. And now, is this gonna is he ever gonna go to another cable news network, or is he gonna go independent, go to Substack? I mean, so many folks either leave or get let go of MSNBC, and then they're like, you know what, I'm done with MSNBC. And a lot of folks are losing. I mean, the MSNBC is losing a lot of viewership because of that. But let me go ahead and digress from this story, and I want to move it on. I want to talk about those who have been pointing fingers at folks being the blame of the political violence in America. Because me personally, I have in my mind, I feel like I know who and which group has, in my opinion, but also there's so many groups out there that causes harm till it's like, y'all, can we just like can we just rewind this, please? Can we just rewind all this hatred, all this back and forth? No. So, but let me move it on to this story here. This is happening at Fox News. So a popular personality, Fox News personality, Brian Kilmeade, who is co-host of Fox and Friends. He also hosts I think he hosts a weekly program on Fox News, and he's a host a syndicated radio program with Fox. He recently went viral, sharing his thoughts openly and blatantly about homeless in America. And this was his solution. Now, this is just how wow Fox News has been and has always been. And you know what, Brian Kilmeade, he has moments where I'm like, okay, he's being somewhat of a, I wouldn't say fair, but at least he's not making a fool of himself as he normally does. Because to me, he kisses up a lot to right-leaning figures and doesn't really question. I think journalists, in my opinion, shouldn't be. I don't like journalists that are very, very, very partisan, if that makes sense. I don't like extreme partisan journalism, but I understand why it's a place for it, especially if you're on a network that the primary theme and mission that they want to do is promote either left-leaning politics or right-leaning agendas and things like that. So I understand. But let me go ahead and show you this clip of a Fox and Friends episode where Brian Kilmeade shared about how they should take care of homeless people, how the government should take care of homeless people.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right. I would say this. We're not voting for the right people. In North Carolina, wake up.
Billions of dollars to...
I'm sorry. Did he say what I think he just said, y'all? Did he just say, just kill him? Just kill him. So you had Lawrence Jones say, look, there's $1 billion of programs and there's this and that. You have to give them a choice. If they don't want to participate in any of that sort of thing, you're just going to have to put them in jail. First and foremost, y'all, what sense does that make to put homeless people in jail if they refuse to. Well, I'll say this. There's a good number of homeless people that suffer with a form of mental health. So it's really difficult for them to make those strong decisions like that. Now, for one, we will never understand because for those who are listening right now and tuning into this program, we are blessed people. We have resources. We have roofs over our heads. We have clothes on our backs. We have food on our table. We underestimate the luxuries that we have on a regular basis. Now, I hear Lawrence Jones' take on it to say, hey, look, if you give them the options and no one would choose, you can't continue to live out here in these streets. You just can't. But to say, hey, we're gonna lock you up in jail now. Okay, how long will this be? For one, now I do know prisons and jails do have programs. So could that be like? I mean, what about just rehabilitational centers and open those up to like? I mean, to say just throw them in jail, or then this fool, this first class, this first class. I'm not gonna say the word because I really want to cuss, but I can't. But this first class jerk, I'll just leave it at that. As more PG says, or just lethal injection, just kill him. I mean, let me read you this report by the Associated Press. Brian Kilmeade was advocating for the execution of mentally ill homeless people in a discussion on the network, saying that his remark was extremely callous. Now, careless, I think that's what they meant to say. Kilmeade initially comment came on the Fox and Friends episode where I just shared with you all. Kilmeade, who they were talking about the stabbing of Erna Zarutska, the young lady who was sadly killed on the train. She was stabbed by a gentleman who had like 14 offenses, criminal offenses, and apparently he was mentally unstable as well. He killed her. He just killed her. Just no, she just like stabbed her, walked away. And so they were discussing that. And the gentleman, who was a homeless man and mentally ill man, DeCarlos Brown Jr., who was arrested for murder, and the case received extensive attention on Fox following the release of security video of the stabbing. Once again, you see those turn this case political because they're going to be like, oh, who in the administration was this? Who is this? See, the Democrats, they're here, they've been killing us, and they've done this and this, and it's like, oh my gosh. It's always political. It's always political. It's always a pointing the fingers. It's always, I mean, it's childish in my opinion. But let me continue this. Jones was talking on Fox and Friends about the public money spent on trying to help homeless people and suggest that those who didn't accept services offered to them should be jailed. Okay. And then Kilmeade says, or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them. I mean, again, y'all, this is why I say, for me being in the middle, there's one side that lacks backbone. And then on the right side, there's folks that lack empathy. And that's the case. It's a prime example. Just kill him. Just kill him. What? So just take a life because they don't have the brain, they don't have the capacity upstairs to decide if they want to accept it. Like, sometimes you have to force them into a program. Does a person that is an addict, do they just immediately walk into rehab? No, most of the time you have groups where they do interventions and you literally swarm in as a group and you put them in there. That's what happens when you want to enter it. It's difficult, but it's such a insane comment on, and the fact that, guess what, he still has his job. Oh, he still has his job. He is still good, one of the highest paid personalities on the network. Now, he did respond with a with an apology, and let's go ahead and share that soundbite of him apologizing. Let me go ahead. Hold on tight, y'all.
Wednesday, Lawrence, in the morning, we were discussing the murder of Irina Zarutska in Charlotte, North Carolina, and how to stop these kinds of attacks by homeless, mentally ill assailants, including institutionalizing or jailing such people so they cannot attack again. Now, during that discussion, I wrongly said they should get lethal injections. I apologize for that extremely callous remark. I'm obviously aware that not all mentally ill homeless people act as the perpetrator did in North Carolina, and that so many homeless people deserve our empathy and compassion. Lawrence, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Brian. I'll see you tomorrow.
I mean, the things they do to save their ass, I tell you. I mean, I think Lawrence Jones should apologize too. I mean, with the hey, they should just be put in the jail. I mean, again, they're doing exactly what President 47 does. When you and the far right, really, you categorize bad apples in the and say, oh, that one bad apple represents the majority, and so it's ridiculous, y'all. It's ridiculous that this continues to exist. So yeah, that went viral. He's still making his millions at Fox News. I mean, again, Fox News they're not like other networks where a comment like that will get your show canceled, or you will just get you fired the day of and you got to go. No, you can't stay after that. Really? He just got away with it. He just got away with that. I don't understand, y'all. I do not understand. But what I do understand is, y'all, it's time for a break here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We got a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't change that radio dial. We'll be right back with more.
Jazera Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazeranLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. I want to talk about my good friend, Megyn Kelly. Ooh, she is my favorite. Don't y'all enjoy her? Don't y'all enjoy? No? Y'all a little quiet? Okay. It's not a shocker. Megyn Kelly has been trying to continue to stay relevant in the limelight forever. Ever since she left her Fox News program, went to NBC, thinking to turn into this bipartisan journalist, which that did not last long because she continued to share who she truly was. And that was somebody that really does not deserve a platform. She has made a career, and look, and I'll say this. There will be levels where, okay, I'll be like, Megyn, you're a conservative independent. That's cool. I respect that. But when you start just saying off the wall stuff, then you lose me. So, for example, Megyn Kelly did what? Oh, she now knows exactly why all this, why all these craziness and issues has been happening in the world of politics, right? Oh, she has the answer, y'all. And let me go ahead and share you her answer on who should be the blame, not just who, but of course she puts that on a political party. But she says, "Oh yeah, I know when this all started." Check this out, y'all.
We don't feel like ourselves. We haven't felt like ourselves in a while. And I'm sorry to get political, but I'm just going to be honest. We haven't felt like ourselves since Barack Obama. I just think he was such a slick snake. He was
black. He's black. He's
black. So I want to thank my friend, comedian, actor, and radio host D.L. Hughley for sharing his thoughts of, like, he's translating exactly what Megyn Kelly was saying. She said all this happened when Obama became president. Just a slick snake. Really? All this divisiveness started when Obama was in prison? Now, what are you trying to imply? Well, actually, she implied exactly. She called him a slick snake. So that gives you, okay, she thought he was the bad guy that started all this division. No, I could recall a gentleman that questioned his citizenship because his middle name to him was of a Muslim. Hussein. Oh, we have to question his citizenship now. We have to question his citizenship. It was a person that was trolling him before trolling was even a thing on social media. There was an individual that was trolling him and still trolls him to this very day. Why? Because they're extremely jealous of the status of Barack Obama. Look, Barack Obama was a star in politics, him and his wife, Michelle Obama. He's a star in the Democratic Party, and probably he is a legend and icon in the Democratic Party. And he was well liked by most folks on the right and the left. And they're saying this all started because of Obama. Well, just once again, tell us more how you really feel. What was so out of all the the recent Democratic presidents, like, what was so interesting about him? You see what D.L. Hughley translated, what I think a lot of us was gonna imply. Hate to make it a race thing, but to say you're not going to blame the guy that initially said she must be bleeding out of her ears and bleeding elsewhere. Like, let's not forget, Trump made you look like a fool, Megyn, and then you bent the knee kissed the ring and said, well, I'm going to back Donald Trump. He's the man. Yes, he is. Yada, 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 yada. Just like freaking Senator Ted Cruz, everybody who has been, Marco Rubio, they've all been on the list of Trump and the insult list and stuff, and yet they we're gonna praise him. You're so good, you're so awesome. Where would America be without you? Like, give me a break. These folks are out of their mind to assume that this divisive, this political rhetoric did not start under Trump and started from other previous presidents. Like, that is hilarious to me. And it's even more hilarious, like this next clip I want to share with you all. This self-proclaimed MAGA pastor claims that black people are more dangerous than white people. I said it. Oh, yeah. Please don't. For those who are driving, look. I hope I didn't put you at a screeching halt. You're like, did he just say what? Check this out, y'all.
You're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says there are certain parts of town that you cannot go, and there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and if there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church and we know them and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, but we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. If there's someone who is black.
Whoa. I was following you there, sir. I was following you. You said if you walk into a room of strangers, white strangers, there might be danger. If you walk into a room of black strangers, there's 30 times more danger. Y'all. Oh, after this show, I'm gonna need a drink. After this show, I'm gonna need a drink. What a prime example of why not everybody needs a podcast, but also, matter of fact, no, give them a podcast because they're sharing their true feelings, their true thoughts. And it kills me because this is a fact that the conservative right uses faith as a talking point. Once again, I'll repeat this because I'm a man of faith as well too. I am a Christian. The way the right promotes Christianity is insulting, in my opinion. It really is. Because they have a different agenda. They have a different agenda. This man, a pastor, so now he has a congregation where folks go to him for answers, and this is one of his answers. You walk into a room with white strangers, there might be dangers there. You walk into a room with black strangers, there's 30 times more. There's a lot more dangers. Really? Really? Y'all, we have got to continue not only to pray for this country, but I go back to hold people accountable. Hold people accountable. Hold people accountable. Now, that was from one pastor. Let me what was this? And he calls that sermon the talk. But let me go. I came across this pastor here, and I'm looking at my time, so let me go ahead and take this fool off my screen. Let me go ahead and share you this pastor that it went viral. His message went viral. Now it was in regards to the political violence, the recent passing of conservative right activist Charlie Kirk. But listen to what this pastor had shared, and it was bold. It was bold, but just listen. Just listen.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff, calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk, but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home, tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. I am sorry, but there's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life. I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live. I am overwhelmed.
Y'all, this pastor, who said that his pastor, let me see here. Give me a second as I find this gentleman's name. Why? Because I think that with his message, it spoke volumes. It did. It really did. And I think that he just shared why a lot of folks are, while there's a back and forth. There's difficulty with the response of this. And so, gentleman's name is Pastor Howard John Wesley. How you die does not redeem how you lived. I will say this again. The way this man was taken from this earth was a tragedy. It was a true, it was a horrific, disgusting act that should never happen on anybody. You hear me? On anybody. Now, to bash those that shared their thought on the individual when he was here, going back to the MSNBC analyst that was fired, I think they should backtrack that, in my opinion. We have one pastor sharing a message like this, and then we have another pastor sharing that black people are more dangerous than white people. That's the world we live in, y'all. That's the world we live in. And then we live in this world that blames all of this on a black man who became president and said because he was such a disgusting snake, he started all this. All this started when Obama was in office. Wow. Okay, Megyn. That's all I can say is just wow. Wow. We're gonna take a breather, y'all, from politics, and I'm gonna move it on to our last story here of the evening. Actress, comedian, Oscar winner Monique is back at it again. She is back at it again, y'all. Sharing why she would never let go of the feeling she has towards Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. She would never let go on speaking out about what they did to her. And I mean, a lot of folks are saying, look, Mo, when are you gonna give this up? I'm one of those guilty folks. Like, when are you gonna give this up? And I'm honored I want to have her on this program to really talk with her about this, because again, I remember when Monique had, well, let me go ahead and share this first, and then I'll talk. I think I'm running a little low on time, but let me share this clip real quick for you all.
That's why when people say, Monique, when you gonna stop with Tyler and Oprah? I'm not. Just so we clear, I'm not. because we've gotten so used to letting it go and moving on. Well, where does that come from? Let it go. That dates all the way back to slavery. Just don't say nothing. Just keep moving on. And that's why we continue to be treated the way that we get treated. So for me, my babies, I won't let go and I won't move on from that. Doesn't mean I'm bitter. I'm not angry. And I love my brother and sister or my sister and sister. Whatever day Tyler chooses, whichever way he goes, I love all of them. However, wrong is wrong and right is right. And until we start standing on what is right, we will continue to be treated wrong. That's just my humble opinion.
All right, so here's my humble opinion, Mo. I think you need to find a new branding strategy in order to get gigs and projects. I think this, you continuing, you literally are trying to make money off of Tyler Perry's name and Oprah's name. That's exactly what you're doing. And see, I try to give the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, at the end of the day, you won an Oscar on your own. You won an NAACP awards, multiple awards on your own. You are a talented individual. I even gave benefit of the doubt when she first got her Netflix special. The one that she was suing, she had a feud with Netflix and sued them for gender bias and color bias. And so when the opportunity came that she was getting a special, I watched it and I realized that, you having an issue with Dave Chappelle signing a $64 million contract and Amy Schumer signed a $10 million or $15 million contract. Ouch. Okay, now maybe having something in the seven figures, you do a movie and a comedy, but that comedy show that I saw, I was hoping that it was going to be a lot more because it was something that a lot of folks was anticipating. I mean, the preview of that special was dope. She's like, y'all, Netflix done gave your girl a special. I like, what? You know what I mean? Like that. Okay, because now folks are saying, wow, the feud between them must be good, must have been settled. It was not. Monique keeps on saying, I love my sister, I love my brother. But we all read between the lines, y'all. We read between the lines. Stop it, Monique. Stop it. It's just, at this point, y'all, this has been a feud that's lasted more than 13 years. And you know who's winning, in my opinion, on this? Oprah. Oprah has not gave a response. She has not apologized. At least Tyler Perry, she said Tyler Perry had called and apologized. So you would think it was done between them, but she still, again, Mokes is still bitter and has beef. And I'm just like, I try so hard, Mo. I do. And I'm hoping, I would love to have her on the show to have the conversation, because maybe I'm missing something, because I'm just giving you my honest opinion. But what's your opinion on Monique? What's your opinion? Do you think she needs to get over it, or do you think she needs to continue to express her feelings and make this into a revenge tour thing? Like, what's your thoughts on this, y'all? What is your thoughts? And also, what's your thoughts on just, again, the political violence that exists in our world? How do we stop it? How do we put an end to it? Do you think it's even possible or capable of being put to an end? Look, send me email me by going to www.theagshow.com. Again, that's www.theagshow.com for your thoughts on that. Y'all stay safe out there. Make sure you guys vote. Voting is your power. And won't tell anybody else that anybody else tells you it's not. Don't believe them. Peace and blessings, y'all. See you next time on the greatest show of the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.